Who would have thought a show called The Chair Company would be the best reviewed show of the year? I'm talking with Lake Bell. She is in this show. I mean, what do people need to know about this show? Almost the little the better going in.
I would agree with that. I think part of the fun of it is expecting one thing and then getting the opposite. So, it's definitely subversive and has scratched an itch with the zeitgeist of our own kind of paranoia and leaning into conspiracies. So I don't know. I think I'm very grateful that it's done so well.
It really has. And who better to do cringe comedy than Tim Robinson? I mean, what was that like coming along board to star in a show with his? Because people have such a passion for Tim Robinson's work.
I mean, I really understand why. I think he has such a unique voice that it really kind of pulls you in because you're like, gosh, I haven't heard even the musicality of this comedy before. And cringe is fun. It's like you're on a roller coaster and you don't know which way this guy's gonna go. And it's really satisfying, to be surprised like that.
Really is. Were you familiar with I Think You Should Leave and Friendship and all his other work before signing on, or did you go back and watch all that then now that you had signed on?
No, I had seen Detroiters and I think you should leave. And I knew of Tim and I was very excited that he got his own show on HBO and that there was this sort of support for this very fresh and necessary voice.
That's so great. I think what's special about this show is you can see yourself in this guy. Like, no, he's not such a huge conspiracy theorist, but there's so many relatable factors about him. It's like, maybe this is happening. Like, what can happen? What are your thoughts on that?
I think that's partially why it feels so accessible is because there's something about this man and this family that you really see in kind of every family in America, which is, everyone's got you have your kids, you got to pay your bills, it's like you have this relationship that we've been married for so many years. We just know each other so well. So his sort of misanthropic kind of tornado of a personality is very welcomed and loved and supported from his family. And I think that part of it is like, yeah, we all have these like secret what ifs. And um, yeah, I just think it's like, it's poignant in that way,
You
strangely
signed
so.
when you signed on to the show and then filming the show, did you know it would, I mean, possibly it could hit as big as it has? I mean, one of HBO's biggest shows in years, one of HBO Max's biggest streaming shows in years, the critical reception. I mean, what was that like as you were filming? Did you have those thoughts?
It's so funny. We filmed it in such a way. Andy DeYoung, who's the director who did Friendship, of course, which I love. I love this movie so much. So that was so encouraging too, seeing that. Uh, when we were filming, I recognized that it was tonally different than anything that I certainly have done. And I've been doing this for so long, certainly within the comedy world as well. And so I think that part of it, that freshness and that kind of curiosity in the kind of shape of the narrative even is made me consider how different it was. But I didn't know because I thought, okay, it's either gonna hit really big or people just won't understand.
It has really hit big, and I love that this is kind of turning comedy on its edge. It's not the raunchy comedy. It's not the yes, it's laugh out loud funny, but it's not the jokes. It's not the all these kind of tropes that we know from comedy. Is that what you kind of hope brings this comedy to a different audience?
Yeah, I do. It's so great that you're bringing that up because I do think partially what was so appealing to it to me around the project was was how unique the shape of it is. So, we have moments where there's a comedic beat just purely for the sake of a comedic beat and for the kind of world building versus like this is going to push the plot forward. So the plot is like this evolving kind of shapeshifter. So that is unique because traditionally you have such a clear structure that needs to be adhered to. And throwing that into the blender is really satisfying.
We will get that structure for season 2 officially announced last week. I mean, what was that reception like? To obviously, audiences love this show, but here we are officially renewed for a second season.
I will say that it is really, really fun to be on a show that your friends like. Just that your peers, your mates, are psyched. And I think that part of it is more fulfilling than I sort of realized. It's been a while since I've been on something that my friends are really like, wow, I cannot wait for the next episode. I cannot wait for next season. Yeah.
So well deserved. The Chair Company airing on HBO, streaming on HBO Max. Lake Bell, thank you so much for your time.
Thanks for the support.